What's up, guys? Welcome to the Tatted Addicts podcast, where we talk about addiction, recovery, and mental health. With me today is Abbey. We're gonna get into her story, what started off her addiction, what led her to recovery, and what she's up to nowadays. With that being said, Abbey, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So I want to start by kind of hearing about what started your addiction, maybe how old you were, and what perspired from there.
Okay, yep. So when I was 11, my brother started selling me Valiums just because he was into drugs, and somebody got him high when he was younger, so he was the kind of person to, oh, well, it happened to me, I can do it, you know, get other people high. And then I met a couple of friends that did drugs, and I would do them on the weekends, and I had a lot of anxiety growing up, and I didn't realize it then, but I was self-medicating a lot, you know, just to try to, because I was a bigger kid, and I got picked on a lot, and something finally quieted my brain after a while, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just started partying and doing that, and when I was 23, I had a friend that brought over some heroin, and after that, it was over. I started getting 30s all the time, and just, yep, I didn't think I was addicted for a long time. I thought I was just, you know, getting sick and like had the flu and stuff like that. But then, yeah, I realized I couldn't live without it, and that it had a hold on me. And I had an abusive boyfriend at the time, so that didn't help my self-esteem either. And it was my only escape from
reality.
From my life. I had a narcissistic mother, and my brother, you know, being a drug addict and being a narcissist too, and I was damned if I didn't, damned if I did. I always felt like I was in the twilight zone, you know, so it was, And then I got a boyfriend who was the same way, you know, narcissistic, you know, he hit me and stuff and stole from me and cheated on me, but I thought that's what I deserved, because I just felt so horrible about myself, and I felt even worse when I started doing drugs, you know. I was ashamed, and you know.
Yeah, you're masking the reality of everything, but thinking that it's making you feel better, which it is mentally, but on the inside, deep down, it really starts eating away at you, right?
Yeah, because every Monday when I was broke, I would cry all day long. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't have, because I did Xanax and methadone were my favorite first when we could get pills, but then when you couldn't get pills anymore, you know, it turned to the dope. But yeah, they just.
So tell me a little bit about your home life. I mean, obviously you said your brother got you hooked on drugs. What was the dynamic of your household at that time, from 11 to, you know, did you move out when you were 18, or how did that work?
Oh no. So my parents got divorced when I was really young. So I never, you know, I was probably 5 when my dad moved out. So it was just me and my mom and my brother, and I think my mom had some like mental illnesses. She would never get help, you know. She wasn't crazy, so you never knew how she was gonna be. Like one day she was cool, and then one day you know what I mean, you were just the biggest loser or whatever, you know. And my brother, he was going through addiction, so he had mood swings too, you know. He would hit me too, so that's kind of one of the reasons I think that I got with somebody that was just like my brother, narcissistic and abusive. And I struggled through school. I have a learning disability. I have a hard time reading and understanding what I read, so school was always hard, and I got picked on a lot. So it was just always just trying to escape. Like, it just, you know,
For sure.
Yeah.
So when did you move out and end up on your own?
Not till I was like 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, okay, so I lived with my boyfriend, but he lived at his mom, so it wasn't like I was on my own really, you know, because I would stay there for a while, then he would get sick of me or have to cheat on me or something, and then I would leave, go to my mom was living with my grandpa at the time, and I'd go stay there for a while, so I was hopping. I really didn't have like a home for a while, I guess, because, you know, I
kind of couch surfing.
Pop off here, I'm out. I'm gonna go back to my grandpa's. Well, then I'm high, and I get in a fight with her, then I'm back over there, and it was just always chaos. Like, there was never peace. It's just always going through jobs. I could never hold a job more than 6 months to a year. I not out on the job. That was kind of embarrassing a couple times, but I didn't know how to handle it, you know, and I just didn't love myself. I didn't, you know, people were always telling me negative things, and I really believed those things, you know, for a long time.
I mean, you were programmed, it sounds like, to not really know how to handle emotions from a young age. So as you get into your adult age, you know, you start being a product of your past, of your surroundings, of your environment, and you start living that way, thinking that's the right way to live, right?
Yeah, because when I realized that they were narcissists and they were the ones holding me back this whole time and like not letting me, because if I told my mom, hey, I want to move to California, just example, you can't do that, you can't leave me. It was all about her and what she wanted, and it didn't matter what I wanted. And it, so many times my emotions were wrong, you know, you shouldn't feel that way, you know, and it was just always just so confusing, you know what I mean? Like it's, but yeah, so.
Is your mom, is she still alive?
No, she passed away, what is it? July, August, September. She passed away 4 months after I got clean, because I went to the methadone clinic after my boyfriend that I had died of 10 years. He overdosed.
He did?
Yeah.
What did he overdose on?
We're not really sure. They never did an autopsy on him because he overdosed so many times. Like I've brought him back to life twice, and that was traumatizing. And when I got the Narcan the first time, I grabbed it and I squirted it in the air, and I was like, oh no, because I didn't know how to use it, you know. So thankfully I had extra. So I Narcaned him twice, and he came back, and then he OD'd on me another time, and then I tried breaking up with him. Because I was like, I'm done with this, you know, it's never ending, you know, I keep finding all, you know, stealing from me, cheating on me, I can't do this anymore. Because I kept telling him, I want to get sober. And he told me, you don't have a problem, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, all my money is going to dope, you know, like I owe the dope man more than I can afford half the time, you know.
It's never good.
No, and so I tried to break up with Johnny, I tried to break up with him, and he died when the last thing I said to him was, stop trying to talk to me, loser. And then he died like a week later. And I felt really bad for a long time. But I'm at peace with it now because he made me feel that way. He did all those things to me, you know what I mean? And I was trying to better myself. So it's not my fault that, you know, that was his. I mean, it's sad what could have been, you know. He could have had a great life and got sober. But some people, you know, I don't find that like a lot of us do.
Unfortunately, until somebody wants to be better and wants to get clean, no one's going to make them. And there's not really much of anything. I know for me, the courts couldn't keep me clean. No one could keep me clean until I decided, you know, my kids are more important. I want a family. I want to be somebody with purpose. And that's what really escalated my willingness to better myself, you know, and you know, I'm not perfect by any means. I never claim to be perfect, but yeah, it's definitely a struggle reaching that, you know, because, you know, like we were saying, you're programmed to think a certain way and feel a certain way, influenced by the people around you trying to tell you how you should think, especially when you're using. You know, you're just trying to please everybody so you can get to that next day of getting high or whatever. So I definitely understand that.
But you know, I didn't get clean right away after he died. I kept using because I just, you know, it was horrible. You know, I didn't want to get out of bed. I went through the worst depression after that. You know, because I thought that he was the only one that was like me for a while. Because that's how low I thought of myself. I didn't think I was worth anybody else. You know, loving me. I thought that's all the only love I deserved. And it took me maybe 6 months, and then I went to the clinic. I said, I'm sick of being dope sick. I'm sick of waiting on these people. I'm sick of giving my money to them. I'm gonna go to the clinic. And when I first went to the clinic, it wasn't even my idea to get clean. I just thought, cool, I'll get high every day. I don't gotta worry about it, you know? But then the doses started going up. I started nodding out during the day again. And I was like, this can't happen. So
from the methadone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they let you go as high as you want.
Yeah.
You know, and so I went in there and I said, I want to go down 5 every week. Take me down 5 milligrams every week. And I started doing that. And then when I hit 30 milligrams, it hit me. I felt the withdrawal because they told me that was a lot to go down, you know, every week for a while. And I felt it for a month. I quit going down, but then I said, nope, we're going to keep doing it. That wasn't that bad, you know, and I got down to 15 milligrams. I went out to my friend's house, and it was Sunday, and I was supposed to go back in town to go to the clinic, and I said, I'm not going back. And she goes, for real? I go, nope, I'm done with it. We're just going to ride this out and see how it is. I feel fine where I'm 15, you know. We're fine. The people at the clinic, Western Medical, they were like, you should really, you know, wait till you're at 5 or 3. And I was like, no, I'm ready. If I don't leave now, I'm never going to leave.
Right.
And she goes, all right, I warned you. You know, it stacks up. You might feel fine now, but you're not going to, you know. And I go, that's fine. Oh, baby, 5 days later, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like it was, you can't sleep, you know, you can't sleep. That's all you want to do is sleep, and you just can't sleep. And
Can't shut your brain off.
no, but
Yeah.
I got a dog like 6 months prior. So my dog saved my life because I went and took him for a walk every day. Didn't matter how dope sick I was, I didn't care. I walked him every day, and he saved my life, you know. Like,
That's really cool.
yeah.
So what do you think was going through your mind when you made that decision, you know, I don't need to go back, I don't need to, you know, use the methadone anymore? What do you think sparked that decision?
I wanted to live like everybody else. You know, I was sick of being tied to the clinic. I was sick of always having this, sick of always having that crutch, you know. And I was like, no, I want to be able to go to my friends that lives in Muskegon and not worry about the clinic. Like I lived like that for so long, my whole life pretty much, you know, because I was a kid when I started doing pills. So my teenager, you know, that was my whole personality was drugs, you know. And I said, I've been living like that for that long. I got nothing to show for it. I'm going to try this and see how it goes. And everybody said the pink cloud. You hear that?
Yeah.
I'm still on that, and it's going to be 3 years in June 25th, you know?
That's awesome.
And I love my life now. I'm so happy I made that. I know it was God finally reaching to me, you know, and you're worth it, you know, and therapy helps out a lot too, because I made sure that once I got off the clinic, the methadone clinic, that I was going to go to therapy, and I did it once a week for a year and a half, and it made me learn a lot about myself, and, you know, and figure out why I did that. You know, why did I turn to drugs? Why did I think that it was okay? And now I know, and now I would never deal with anybody treat me like that ever again, you know, unless they wanted a frying pan to the head. So,
That's
you
really
know,
good.
yeah.
I'm really proud of you. That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
So were you drinking during this time too, or?
I never really been a big drinker. So this is the drug addict. My dad was an alcoholic, so I don't want to drink.
Okay, we'll just do something different.
Yeah, we'll just do, you know, Xanax and methadone and morphine and all that horrible stuff. Well, my dad always does that too. He's like, well, you just went a little harder than me, didn't you? Because he said he drank professionally.
Oh, wow.
But he quit now. He's been clean over 20 years. He doesn't drink at all anymore, so it's nice. Yep. It's great having him because he knows about addiction, and it's just, my mom used to always make me think that my dad was the bad one. And really, it was the opposite. I should have been hanging out with my other family than this family, because addiction on my mom's side, my uncle, all my cousins, they all went to the clinic. They all had opiate addictions, and I fell right into it. And
yeah, it sounds like you were set up for failure.
Kinda, you know. And then when my dad tried to show me the right way, I had my mom in my ear being like, he's just lying. He's brainwashing you. Don't listen to him, you know. But really, no. I should have been listening to my dad, not hanging out over there. And
no, for sure.
Because my mom let me start smoking pot with her when I was 15. So, you know, because I came home one day and kids were making fun of me. And she was like, you want to hit this? And, hey, that's my solution. Let's get high. You know, you feel bad? But get high. But no, now if you walk your dog, go do something productive, you know. It's way more fulfilling than getting high and just feeling like dirt, you know. But yeah, therapy helped me realize a lot of that and it messed me up for a minute. Like, you know, when what? You're telling me my mom who loves me, you know, was the one, or my brother that was supposed to be there for me? Like, it just,
You know, and you got to think too, you know, they're using and they don't want to stop using. So the minute someone in the circle decides, you know, they kind of wake up and decide they want to get clean, then the person that's not trying to stop using, they kind of go into defense mode. And I don't even really think that they always mean to do it, but that's kind of a defense mechanism to keep you using with them so they don't feel bad about themselves or lesser about themselves.
Yep.
You know, if you can't beat them, join them type of stuff.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you know, that's one of the sad realities of the disease is the people around us. You know, I know when I decided to get sober, I had the same thing. You know, I'd hang out with people, sit there and we'd talk for 10 minutes about my sobriety and stuff, and then 5 minutes later, hey man, you want to hit this? Like, did you not hear what I said 10 minutes ago, bro? So, you know, and like I said, I don't necessarily think that it's ill will. I think it's more like, you know, they don't want to feel like they're being abandoned to keep using. Although, you know, all we have to do is find that inspiration to make that choice, right?
Right. Yeah. Because my brother still goes to the clinic. Like, he's never going to leave. He's been there 20 plus years. And I tried being back with, like, because before my mom died, I was getting sober. So it was like June 25th, I got sober. And she had to have heart surgery in July. She got heart surgery and it never healed. Like, she just had too many things against her, you know, diabetes, all this other stuff. But I was trying to be there for her at the hospital, and I was trying to take care of me too. You know, I was dope sick. I was, you know, I was coming off methadone and everything, really, because even though I quit doing heroin 14 months prior, it's still, you know, I'm getting off all that. My brain's still getting right, and it wasn't enough. I wasn't doing enough for her. I wasn't there enough, even though I was there every day. And I got so angry, and I broke her clock, and I said, I just want to go get high. And I go, whoa, I think I gotta cut them off, you know, and as hard as it was for me to do, because she was sick, you know, she's in the hospital. I would have relapsed. I would have never made it. I would have went right back to that clinic and been like, I can't do it. But I just couldn't do that to myself anymore, you know. I just had to tell her and my brother, no more, I'm done with you. And then when she got sick and she was dying, she was on life support, and I had to take her off life support, me and my brother. And that was hard. I told her, because I was there with her by myself, I said, I'll stay sober, Mom. Don't worry, you know. And I tried talking to my brother and being cool with him, because I thought, oh, that's his only family left, you know. And nope, he can't respect me. He still treats me like I'm just nothing, you know. And I can't do that. I can't have people like that in my life, because that's what makes me do drugs. I mean, not just that, but, you know, like that just, if you make me feel that way, I can't do it, man. I'm more important now. I put everybody before me for so long, and I just can't.
What do you think if your mom or even your ex were still alive and you could talk to them today in the state of mind you're in today? Is there anything that you would have to tell them that you'd want to talk to them about, you think?
Well, my mom, I love you. And I wish we could have worked on, you know, our relationship before she died, or maybe she would have got some mental help and we could have worked together, you know. And because, I mean, we did a lot together before I became a drug addict, and we were good friends. But I just hope I'm making her proud and doing what I'm supposed to be doing now, you know. And that I love her, and I'm sorry it couldn't work out any other way, you know. And Johnny, I'm sorry he couldn't love himself enough to realize that it was worth it, you know, because it really is. This life is so worth it. It's amazing.
It really is. Yeah. So I want to kind of talk about that defining moment for you. What would you say was your lowest, your rock bottom, the point where you were really just completely fed up? Like, walk me through like that last time using that really made you say, all right, this is it. Kind of walk me through that day. Well,
my dealer yelled at me. You know, I called him up for something, and he screamed at me because I called his girlfriend's number instead. And I just was like, why am I getting abused by these people? You know, like, why do I have to give them just being dope sick and the same. It's just, I got sick of the same thing all the time, no matter what. It's just either all my money went to him, and I just, you know, I just finally said, I think I'm better than this. Let's try it, you know, let's try something different. And Yep, I deleted everybody's number that I knew. I deleted all his cousins, everybody, and I screwed it for myself because, I mean, when my mom did die, I did think about relapsing, you know, but then I was like, what if I get robbed? What if, what if something horrible happens? What if I get shot, and I just...
What if you get a bad batch?
Yeah. Because when I went to the clinic, she said, you didn't drop dirty for heroin, you dropped dirty for fentanyl. And I go, oh, I didn't even know what I was taking. So it
Lucky you lived through that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest, them telling me that. And they said, you have Narcan? And I said, yeah. And they go, you need it, because that was a really high dose. And after that, I just said, I'm sticking with the clinic, and we're not calling them no more. And I didn't like getting yelled at anyway. So, that was my turning point. I'm just going to stick with the clinic. And then, like I said, I just got sick of having that crutch. I got sick of having to have that all the time.
Yeah, the dependency. Mm-hmm. For sure. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yep. So let's talk about, you got clean. Let's talk about, the first few months of being clean, like truly being clean, and how life was different compared to, using.
Oh, well, I got a job 2 months after I got clean,
okay.
And I've been there now going on 3 years in August.
Nice.
And I made it all the way the highest I can get without a diploma, a college degree. I'm a line leader now, and it's amazing. Everybody likes me, and I don't think people didn't like me before, but my drug, the addict in me made me shiesty. I was always doing lying and doing the wrong thing, and I feel like my sun shines back. I even when I was still dope sick, I could feel Abbey, that 10-year-old, sober, coming back, like my humor, my sunshine in my eyes and everything. And it was hard working, and being sober, but I just kept pushing through it. I said, something's gonna give, and I swear it was 9 months later I didn't feel better, but it was fine. I still had my job, I was making money, I was moved in with my friend Erica, and I had my dog, and everything was worth it,
You could feel the progress building, right?
Yep, and just having people around me, and I could just feel it, and people trusted me again, and just everything. It was just great having that freedom finally,
That's so awesome.
Yep.
I know we were talking before we started recording about how you had came in a few years back and got a piercing from me, and that you were either right on the end of your addiction or possibly still going through it. And, And I can tell you, I remember you from then. You came in quite a few times back then. Mm-hmm. The you now compared to the you then, not that I had a problem with you before at all.
Yeah.
I didn't know you. I don't know a lot about you, but I can see your glow is there.
Yeah.
I can see that you walk with purpose and intention, and that's really cool. I hope that you understand that.
Yeah.
That the people seeing you from the outside looking in, they can notice those things.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. That's what and I can walk around with my head held up. I'm not ashamed anymore, and I'm not afraid to tell my story. I'm not afraid. Nothing, I am who I am, and I'm proud of it. It's who I am, and a lot of people can't do that. Like you said in the episode before, a lot of people turn to drugs when people die. Mm-hmm. No, it's hard to do. It really is, to change your life, but it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Especially a parent, that's who people that raised you, the people that are supposed to be there when you have questioned, and now you can't trust them to give you solid advice, because it's either going to push you to want to use more or make you feel a certain kind of way about yourself.
Right.
So that's huge. And nowadays, you've had your job for 3 years. That's just awesome. You said your sobriety date is in July?
June 25th.
June 25th, and this will be year 4?
My third year.
Third year?
Yep.
Okay. And that's your third year from methadone, right?
Yep, from the clinic.
But you're almost 4 from...
Yeah, tomorrow would be 4 years since I've done heroin.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And then we were talking too, you're kind of getting your foot in the door of doing some comedy and stuff like that?
I would like to. I get on a roll sometimes, and people are always like, you never know what's going to come out of your mouth, but hey, that's the funny part about it, right? I mean...
Have you gotten on a stage and performed?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Okay.
I did have something set up, but it got canceled, so I think I got a place that does it every Sunday. I'm going to go see if I can do it, put in some sobriety jokes. And because I did meet one of my favorite comedians, and his joke was, you ever smoke so much weed and do heroin for 10 years? And I was like, hey, I can relate to that. And I got to meet him too, and he gave me the courage. He was like, yeah, you should do because I told him a couple of my jokes, and he's like, you should really do it. I encourage you. So it was.
Now, the Abbey that was in active addiction, do you think she would have ever known that she'd be able to want to jump on stage and grab a microphone and make people laugh?
Nope. No, heck no.
Not at all.
I would have been like, no, I can't do that. I'm too fat or something. You know what I mean? And
that's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Yep,
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Proud of you too.
If there is one thing that you could say to the people watching today that are maybe struggling with addiction or even a narcissistic family or any of the above, what do you think that would be?
Just don't be afraid to set boundaries and love yourself, and just find your worth and know that you're worth, that those people are sick, and that you don't have to deal with that. You can set healthy boundaries and not feel bad about it, because it saves your life in the end, because it really saved my life.
Absolutely. Changing the way you think, the way you move, even the people you hang around, your living environment, all of those things. Now you're able to sustain a life and pay your bills, and you don't have any children, right?
No.
But you have your dog, and it sounds like your dog you take care of like a child, which is really cool. So you have responsibility. Keeping a job, especially going up in your job and having a higher position, that's huge too. So. And in 3 years to make that kind of progress, that's actually really, really good progress. So it sounds like you really have taken your sobriety super serious, and that's what it takes. And now you're in a position to be able to, come on a podcast and speak about it freely and openly, and make light of it in your comedy routines and stuff like that.
Right.
And, I wish you the best for that, because entertaining is, that's one of my favorite things too. So I hope it takes you far. Yeah,
when I was little, I used to sing and do dance and all that. And I was like, she's back now. We can entertain some people and do some stuff, So I really want to do something like that. I know I got it in me, so I'm just glad I'm back and I can do that,
Well, I believe in you, Abby.
Thank you.
Well, we're so happy that you came on the show today. I know it was a little emotional for you, and that's okay. It's probably, sometimes in these situations, it's probably emotions that you haven't really felt yet in your sobriety. So it's a healthy thing too. Okay.
That's what everybody told me. They were like, well, it's okay to cry. That means, you can handle you can show your emotions the right way. And
it's not healthy to suppress any kind of emotions.
No. And I numbed them for a long, long time, and now they come out all the time. Happy tears, sad tears, just that was so cute tears, So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you. Appreciate you coming, and who knows, maybe we'll get a part 2 from you soon.
All right, cool. Thank you.
We want to make sure anybody watching the show, if you're struggling with addiction or you've overcame addiction, have any mental health issues or anything like that, and you want to come on and tell your story, make sure you reach out to us, www.thetatteraddicts.com. There's a link right on there to go ahead and book. So if you're out of the state of Michigan or the greater Grand Rapids area, we are working on finding a way to be able to do, some kind of maybe teleconference type deal. So stay tuned for that. With that being said, we want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching what we have. And we'll see you guys next week.